I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. After your very next meeting, just try to count how many times you switch tabs or open a new app just to get your follow-up stuff done. How much focus and how much time are you really losing in that copy-paste dance?
At your work, you just had a meeting with your supervisor, colleague, or client, and then you have to write up an email for the next follow-up and to-dos. And in order to do that, oftentimes you have to use a meeting copilot to get all the transcript like this, and then copy-paste the entire transcription summary into your favorite large language model tools, such as GPT, Gemini, Grok, Cloud, or Microsoft Copilot. And basically, after processing, you ask them to draft the email, and now you want to copy-paste everything back to the email. What if you could finish everything inside your email and just stay in the flow? SeaMeet Copilot has an exciting feature called, SeaMeet Copilot that lets you do everything inside your email. For every meeting you have with your client, supervisor, and colleague, SeaMeet Copilot would actually send you an email just like this, starting with SeaMeet Copilot. What you're gonna do is directly talk with the SeaMeet Copilot and ask SeaMeet Copilot to do whatever is done on the workflow for you. For instance, I just had a Seesaw.ai weekly meeting right over here. And what I need to do is just tap reply and think about anything that you wanted to do. I could say, extract the most important issues from this meeting and show me all the highlights of next week's demos. Usually what I need to do is to get to the meeting, find the transcript summary, and then read it through or ask ChatGPT for the second stage processing. But I do not really want to switch in between different tabs anymore. So now, with the SeaMeet Copilot, as soon as I have sent the message, it's going to reply to me with the new extracting information right here inside this window. Here we go. We got a new message directly inside this window, inside this tab. I don't even have to leave the email thread. And here's the most important issues from the meeting, and then here's a highlight of next week's demo. So that's super easy, right? For the entire time, I do not need to distract myself from anything. Let me pick a few other use cases for you. For instance, I just had a 30 minutes meeting with a client, and I wanted to write up a SW based on all the summaries from the meeting. I do not necessarily have to leave the platform, and then I can just directly create a follow-up email right over here. So SeaMeet Copilot already suggested a few action items based on the meeting, such as, this one actually works pretty well. Write a brief proposal explaining the benefit of this and a subscription plan for Pooja's export businesses. So what I'm gonna do is just click on reply, and instead of a brief proposal, I'll change this to a formal SOW and then send it over to SeaMeet Copilot. Here we go. We got reply from back SeaMeet Copilot, and then bam, there's the direct state of work from here. So if I reviewed this all right, and then I gotta say, okay, draft a polite email to the client, I can continue to pile up on my conversation, all inside this email thread. What's really amazing is this. If you just copy-pasted everything to ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot, sometimes you forget where you put them. Sometimes you would say, where did I really leave all my work, right? So that gives you cluttered information. However, if you're just like me, having 20,000 different emails in the past 1 or 2 years. Everything actually, your entire conversation is inside your email. So now I got a new message back, and then I had exactly this email that I can just copy paste back to the client. Super easy, and you can keep the conversation on and on. If after a few months or few years you wanted to revisit some of the previous work, all the history is written in your email, not inside some cluttered corners on the internet. So let's do some other interesting stuff. I just had a daily meeting right over here. That meeting was probably 15 minutes with our team. And I wanted to create a GitHub issue ticket over this, so I can just directly reply. Create a detailed GitHub issue ticket in Markdown format so that I can copy paste in Markdown format for everybody on the team. I send it out. There we go. We got this GitHub issue ticket. I specifically asked it to write in Markdown format because it's gonna render very nicely over GitHub. And then this one has titles, has different item lists, and then I can just transfer it to GitHub. Everything is written nicely over inside this email. Perfect. So this has been an overview of SeaMeet Copilot's Agentic email feature. It lets you stay in the flow without going anywhere, resorting to any other apps, or switching in between, or having your information cluttered over all the places. And you can just focus on the email, do your work, and then finish the work from where you wanted to start it. Never get distracted, and stay in the flow. Thank you very much for your attention. I'll see you in the next episode.